Visit GoArmy.com and learn about 150 different career opportunities available now. Esports and the U.S. Army working together to make things better. We are now heading into our second best of 3 of the day. We just saw a very unusual matchup between St. Clair College and Miami University of Ohio. But St. Clair College coming out on top there in the end on Mirage 16-3. Just, again, very, very unusual game. But that's going to bring us into our next matchup. But let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule and how this has been playing out. Again, that was our first matchup of the day. St. Clair College winning that series 2-1. Now we're going to be focusing on Kansas State versus UTD. The interesting thing about this matchup, this is loser bracket round 2. So University of Texas, Dallas, they actually beat Michigan Tech University, but that was a close game. That was a 2-1 game, and Kansas State just got knocked down to the lower bracket just yesterday. But then that brings us into our final matchup of the day is UAH versus Pittsburgh. That 10:30 p.m., that's not a typo. That is a real deal. So if anything, we will be going on a very long break. And then we'll be hopping back into that one. I'm even questioning whether or not we even actually go ahead and stop the stream for a little bit and then come back to it, just so that way. But if those of you want to be able to hang out and chat and be able to watch all the different things that are happening in the venue, I'll leave it up to you guys. It really doesn't make a difference to us whether we leave the stream on. We don't push ads over and over and over again. Doesn't necessarily benefit us there. So, but let's go ahead and get things started. Let's talk about Kansas State and where they've started, where they've been, and how all the different games that they've been playing. So here's Kansas State University, and we can see here's some action that we've seen throughout most of this game. There's 2 players that we talk a lot about, and Pure Penguins is one of them. Pure Penguins as well as Knack are those 2 players that I think we talk about a lot, but Mild is also another really good player coming out for these players as well. And you see, again, we're going to see a lot of highlights of Pure Penguin. And there's the Zap. Yep. This was that matchup against UCF, and that was a fun one. Here's Mild as well. We see him a lot with that shoddy. But you've got Knack, you've got Devil, Mild, and Pure Penguins, and Rob. That is actually the captain for this team for Kansas State. And I'm looking forward to seeing – the question of the day every day is, what team are we going to see? Because the team that we've seen for Kansas State – each and every time has been a really good team. And so I want to be able to continue to see that case being played out. But let's go ahead and take a look at UTD, University of Texas at Dallas. And this is exactly how that one plays out. This team, of course, we've had some really unique situations where we've seen ASOS come into play. We've seen Deathhood, who's actually joined us. We've also had Alloy. Those 3 players have been rotating in and out of the UTD squad. And so we'll see some just really good moments coming from these teams. But, of course, they just barely squeaked by Michigan Tech University. Hunter from MTU was a lot of fun to watch. So, I mean, that's one of those players that I'm going to be wishing that we could see more of in the tournament. Of course, MTU has been eliminated from here. But this is some of the looks that we see from UTD. We've got Adolfo. We've got Deathhood, Alloy, YKZ, and Sir Trix. And the major call-out here is one of the top fraggers for UTD is not in the server. That is ASOS.
He was the guy we saw multiple times this tournament get over 30, where his team wasn't necessarily as close. I would say YKZ's had a lot of great performances. Alloy can get hot with the AWP. Sir Trix has been on and off. We've seen sometimes Sir Trix is the second on the team, or he's dead last by a mile. So I will say this UTD roster, they've got a big task ahead of them. They've already lost to Kansas State once. We mentioned that. That was on Nuke. It was 16-7. Absolutely shutting them down. And so the Comets have got a mighty task ahead of them.
Yeah, so, John, one of the things that I want to call out is whenever you take out a player like ASOS, the next step that could happen is that the rest of the team, the entire team steps up, right? So sometimes you become so reliant on one particular player that you actually kind of stunt yourself in an actual gameplay. You don't rise to your teammates. You actually try to see and you try to support that one player. But in this case, I would say that you're probably more likely to see as this entire team rise, or more importantly, that's what's going to need to be able to happen here. But let's go ahead and take a look at the map pick bans. This is how it shapes up. Train was banned by UTD first, then Dust 2 by Kansas State. That leaves Overpass, Nuke. Those are the 2 that are going to be selected here. So Overpass, which will be the first map that we're going to see out of this best of 3 selected by UTD. And then after that, Nuke was picked by Kansas State. Then Vertigo was gone, and then it was left up to Kansas State to decide between Inferno and Mirage, and we select Mirage. Will be our final map if needed. So there you go, John. What do you think about these map picks?
No surprises here. When we were in the control room where the rest of the production team is at, I just said, everyone asked, who do we think UTD, what map are they going to play? That my gut instinct, and I said it many times, was they're going to pick Overpass. They're going to pick Overpass. They're going to pick Overpass. We've seen it so many times out of them that it seems like that is absolutely their comfort pick. And by no means am I surprised at all to see Nuke coming out from Kansas State. They just destroyed UTD 16-7. It really wasn't even close. I mean, ASOS was really the only guy doing damage. And then ending it off, I'm not surprised to see Mirage coming out as Kansas State. Both of these teams have played on Mirage, and I think they both think that can swing either way. And so we'll have to see if we get to the decider. So, Corey, we're on Overpass again, the first map to start off this second series. We saw that go into favor of the CT side when they started off. And we'll see the CT side starting off for Kansas State. So let's see if they can repeat the success that was happened earlier today in the form of St. Clair. As we are on board with Pure Penguins already. He's going to find one as we jump on into Neck. And Pure Penguin, actually, he sees one there, but that's the rest of the team. They're just baiting out Deathhood. They said, hey, Deathhood, go pretend like we're not going to the B bomb site. And that's actually what's going to come in just a second. So he was the lone representative to be the sacrifice for the B bomb site gods. And now here they come. They're going quietly. As Knack's going to be like, oh, here they are. I found the rest of them. Devil's got a task in front of himself, and he's the last one. And there he goes. Oh, there goes Penguin even. So nice shots there from Sir Trix. Able to close out that Impact's player, and there's the bomb going down. There is a kit into the hands of Rob. He invested this round, and he jumps down from heaven. He wants to make his way onto site, and he wants to start going quick. He finds Alloy, but he's not able to pick up the kill soon enough, and Sir Trix is able to close that out. Miles, the last one alive, and who else but Sir Trix, the guy I've been talking about so much in this round. He ends with 3. That's a good start there from UTD on that T side. And that can be important, Corey. That can be really important as UTD. This is their map pick.
Yeah, one of the things that we'll see a lot from UTD, or at least what we've seen throughout the multiple times that we've seen them on Overpass, is they definitely like to set up a default setup, and they'll drop this bomb in this position every single round for what we know about. And so far we've seen sometimes it's worked for them, other times it hasn't. So we'll be paying attention to that.
Hey, they heard you say that and said, okay, fine, we'll get it 5 feet closer.
Right.
Well, depending where you look at it, it's 5 feet further from the A-bomb site. But now Devil's holding his own with that 5-7. Alloy got shot in the face. Wow, that hurt. And he says, wow, that hurts even more. As Devil's just going to book it on out of there. Deathwood can't even hunt him down as they try to get aggressive towards Connector. There's actually another player in there. That's Rob. He's got the Zeus. We've seen this gun quite a few times this tournament. I would say every time we've seen a Zeus, it hasn't missed. We've always seen a player who gets the when they get the opportunity for a Zeus to kill, we have seen it kill 100% of the time. Dolpho's getting sprayed from behind. He can't move much faster as he's crab walking through the tunnel, and YKZ's able to find one, and that's the AK in the hands of Sir Trix finding a second one as it's a 3v2 retake for a Deagle and a USP. Rob no longer has that kit. He's got the Zeus instead. If he just randomly fires through the smoke and then gets a kill, that would be so funny. I would be so upset if I was YKZ, but seems like he's got an idea that he's in the smoke and he's holding the angle. He's now pushed out a little bit further as Rob's just like, someone please just walk into me. Please, goodness, as YKZ might be a victim of this, but he will not. And he will actually find the Zeus and be like, oh, that's interesting. Let's see what you were going for there. That's second on the board for UTD, to be expected after they won that pistol. They were able to get the bomb down, so a little bit extra money as these are the rifles coming in the hands of Kansas State. Mild on that MP9. But most importantly, we see in the rifle in the hands of Pure Penguins. Nax getting himself pretty far forward. They're wanting to play aggressive already. Just throws a grenade and actually runs behind it. I don't think we've ever seen anyone this aggressive towards that position. He is still going. Him and Mild are just playing so far aggressive. That's going to cause a rotation since they know how far forward they are. And funny enough, if UTD went towards A long, they could be completely behind them right now. But finding themselves towards B and Connector, I think Knack's going to be happy to hold that position. That cuts off the rotation entirely from that angle.
Yeah, we're going to see. I mean, what I was curious about is what was going to happen for Mild. I think Mild pulling away from Connector actually told us a little bit too, is that there was created a whole new opening, but they will have these 3 players watching here for the B bomb site. And Knack is just going to hold it down. He has to. If it needed, he needs to wait for them to push. But here we go. As we got some smokes and flashes coming in. There's some gunfire coming out that's going to bait it out. But he gave away his, oh my goodness. As YKZ with a Mac 10 making a ridiculous shot. And UTD has got not only the bomb site, they've got it down. And there comes Knack on the flank. And you kind of wish that Knack would have been on the flank a little bit sooner to be able to support his teammates faster. But Knack is getting another one. And he tries to be able to push through the smoke. And now it comes Mild. Mild, he gets traded there with Sir Trix. And there we have it. 3-0 now for UTD. And we'll take a look and see. I mean, Knack was in a really, really good position.
One thing I want to call out is we saw Devil was the one boosted on the head of Pure Penguins.
Yep.
You would think it'd be the other way around, just knowing that Pure Penguins has so much of an impact. We'll have to keep following throughout the series, and we might have overtalked him to some extent, but I mean, last time I thought the same thing, and then he dropped somewhat of over to 30 on the likes of UCF, and we know that they are a very tough opponent, and that was a fantastic, I just can't get over how good of a match that was on Inferno yesterday. But we're in a new series now. We don't even see Inferno in this lineup, as Miles going to be the first one taken down. Once again, UTD is enjoying going to this B bomb site. They've liked going through Connector. They've liked going through this area, and now making their way towards Sandbags is Death Hood. There is a boost, which Rob is holding the angle as Devil's trying to find some information where he can. YKZ might push out of that and be found, as there seemed like Knack was right behind Sir Trix, and Aldafo just going to easily clean that one up. And they're going to push, and what a shot there from Devil. Pure Penguins gets taken up on the flip side, but that was a great shot to at least get a rifle into his hands. That should give him the idea that the B bomb site is no longer open, as they're making their way over towards A, and that's a nice Molotov to cut off the rotation from Aldafo. He's going to hold it down for his team. They're going to try to wrap around through Bank. They're being loud about it, and Aldafo knows it. And just look like that, the Roos coming in for UTD, as they know both of these players rotated. Aldafo made the noise he needed to. And that's the bomb plane going down at B, and Rob getting indecisive. He tries to peek out and gets his head taken off forward, but Devil's already on the site. He's got an AK to work with, no kit, no armor, importantly. He'll get shredded. This was an eco round. So if you're him, you're trying to find a way to save this AK. You're getting pretty close to this bomb, and how ridiculous would this be if they already exited the site and he got the defuse? But we see players are already playing close positions. Alloy's playing right there on Sandbags, and just doesn't check the angle close enough. And that's Alloy closing out the round number 4 in favor of UTD. And Kansas State's having a slow start for themselves. I don't think it takes much to get them back into it. All they need is a few quick kills. Get that energy flowing. 4 on the board for UTD.
Yeah, UTD, of course, picking up the pistol round to start this game. That's where you want to start, though. I mean, you're in a best-of-3 series. This is going to be a nice, long series to be playing between these two teams. And the way that UTD plays their games as well, they stretch out these games even further. But Death Hood is going to get taken out there on Sandbags by Pure Penguins. And there's a shot by Knack. So those two players that we talked about are our key highlight players for Kansas State. They're able to come back into this round. And already like that, it's left up to Alloy, Adolfo, and YKZ.
Look at this position. Where's Rob? Look at where Rob is at.
There's something going on. Let's go switch over to 1. Yep, and there's the angle. And wow, sends Alloy flying.
How did he get there? He must have gone through when they found that pick. When Pure Penguins found that pick on Sandbags, they must have given up that position. He must have come out through Connector and then wrapped his way around. He's still there. And this is such a strange round how this is unfolding. YKZ is left alone. Pure Penguins is going to win that fight, and that's going to close it out for him. That's going to be the first on the board, and I would be very curious to rewatch that mini-map to see how that one shook up, because they just had Mild was super far forward on the fountain, and then we saw not getting the pick at Party, and then we see Rob there just all the way near T-spawn, and UTD just giving a map control in very crucial points that's going to allow them to open up a round for Kansas State, and that puts them on an eco.
A little bit of damage as they fell on their teammates' top of their head. Now they got support here coming out. And oh no, he backtracked where he could easily be exposed, and Mild wasn't there to support him even further. He did not have the right angle. So there is an AWP that has fallen. You know that they want that op.
And Alloy is their opper. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to get a heat check on him to see how he's playing. Adolfo, we know he can use that weapon. Seems like it's going to go in his hands for now. Tech 9 just for Alloy. As we see Mild is holding that position. Hasn't been able to find anything just yet, but creeping closer. He's going to find Adolfo. He finds Alloy first. Adolfo finds the trade. Now they know where he's at. Now they know where he's got the AWP. It's being a little wary, and Corey, we've seen that miss jump more than anything else.
Yeah, the AWP is a little heavy, so. And I've seen Adolfo make that a few times here on Overpass.
Oh!
Nice shot by him. Watching for the one was trying to peek over the top. Now, that's not the smoke that he wants. Uh-oh.
That's the shot that he wants, though. And now it's a 1v1 situation.
Yeah, I'm going to give this up to the fact that, again, we saw Knack lose that AWP. And that's how crucial an op can be in a round. And he's got 20 seconds left here in the round. We might even see him start to be able to rotate over here towards the other bomb site. Rob is just waiting for the bomb plant. 15 seconds. This time is getting too crunchy. I don't know. We'll go ahead and see if he's going to be able to make his way through here. He's got 10 seconds. He will be able to get into the site, but he went in full bear. And now you can see Rob quickly trying to be able to rotate there. Quickly scoping in is going to be Adolfo, and the timing is just going to be mixed up here. He's down to 35 HP, so all it takes is just barely crossing a point. He is not checking, and there you go. You hear the falling point, and Adolfo is giving up the bomb site, like rightfully so. So he's having to question where to be able to play this one. Here comes the smoke.
If he sticks it, he might have it.
And this is where it's going to get
Adolfo
difficult.
can't get there in time. He's going to have to hit the instant headshot. He's not going to find it, and that's, Adolfo. He looks so good this round, and it just gives up too much ground for himself in Kansas State.
That was a good round. There's no way to look around that. I mean, yes, they lost. They lost the round. That was a really, really good round. It could have been much, much worse for Kansas State. And I give it up to Adolfo for creeping forward, knowing that AWP had been taken away from Knack. It all started with Knack taking the wrong exit and Mild not supporting him. And then after that, there's nobody taking over and watching over that AWP, and giving Adolfo picking up the AWP and then just going to town. That was a 1-on-5 or 1-on-4, 1-on-4, and he almost takes the round. And so 4-2 now is the score in favor of UTD. And already, just like that, Death Hood has been taken out of the round early. He's been taken out of the round early multiple times. I think he's been challenging against Pure Penguins quite a bit, but this time was against Devil. Yeah, I think right now Knack and Mild are playing really loose whenever they're playing over here towards the A-bomb site. I'm kind of questioning why Knack was just hopping around thinking that was going to be completely clear with no challenge. And so the op, again, a very expensive weapon, has fallen again.
Now it's just a floor mat for the feet of UTD as they're going to be pushing on to this A bomb site. They've got 45 seconds. Like you said, Corey, they like to play this slow setup. They like the slow burn. That's why KZ is going to lead the front. He's going to get a flash out, and they're going to run right behind it. Sir Tricks, we named it. He was the guy who could be really hot or really cold, and it seems like in UTD's favor, he is really hot. He's 10-3. YKZ is able to get the follow-up. That's going to give him the site, and there's only 2 players, and that's Rob and Pure Penguins. We got a kit onto Rob. Pure Penguins using some of this utility to barge his way in. He's trying to find every angle that he can, but this is a difficult one. And Rob might just try to sneak in there again, but this time they see him, and Alloy actually gets taken down as Adolfo finds the pick onto Rob, and that's 5 on the board for UTD. That very well may force an eco round out for the side of Kansas State. Some of those players not looking so well. Rob's sitting with a lot of money in his pockets, but might not be enough to want to spread that out, as they will. They will, in fact, get the guns for themselves, as we see a few FAMAS on the board. Zeroed themselves out, including Rob, who had 8,200 going into that.
Yeah, Knack is trying to go in with this shock and awe. He immediately takes over the T-spawn area, and we're seeing something different from UTD. The last round was not that default setup that we talked about before, but this round, is also not that same thing. They're pushing directly in. They're not taking their time, and Alloy's trying to be able to gain position here. And now we're going to see a retake. This is a, you can see how fast they were able to trade now. This is going to be a full-on retake. We've basically flipped the script here in this round. And Deathhood and Adolfo. It's now down to Adolfo. As he spots, oh man, and Devil through the wall. As he'll go ahead and throw away that $300. But there you have it. Kansas State getting their third round. I look at it, the fact is that UTD is now, this is a different tempo. This is, you know, whether they watched a demo or they listened to what we had said or something along those lines. I mean, we talked about them time and time again. And this is, again, another good call for UTD, taking a timeout and talking it through. What didn't go right that round? We got the bomb down. Why was it so easy for them to get the retake on us?
I think it just comes down to those 1v1 gunfights, Corey. That's been the name of the game today. They're finding themselves in these one-off situations where if they win it, yeah, sure, great. They can get some momentum and get the round for themselves, but also, why put yourselves there when you have the numbers advantage, you got the bomb, and they have to come towards you. So now we're seeing 3 on the board for Kansas State. Rifles in hands, as we see only Deagles coming out for UTD. So we head into round number 9. Adolfo's been playing pretty hot. So has Sir Trix. Only player I think on the side of UTD who would wish he's been having a better game is Deathhood. But as you mentioned, Corey, with the absence of ASOS, the team of UTD, they're going to have to step up holistically. Every single one of them. All got to bring their game up together, and if they can't have another standout performance, then they will be out of this tournament. Same can be said for Kansas State. They can't just rely on one player in Pure Penguins, but we've seen Knack have a lot of great kills with that AWP. We've seen him sharp throughout this whole tournament. Devil's having a good game. Mild's been a little slow, but at least is getting some information for his team. He's actually pretty far forward on A long there. Now they're pushing out towards Sandbags. Don't have the bomb. It is, however, very close. Adolfo just in reaching distance. He's going to grab it now. Oh, excuse me, he runs forward. So they want to just fill out the site a little bit more before they fully commit. 55 seconds left on the clock. Like you said, Corey, UTD likes this game. He's going to see the shadow. He's going to get to see a tip, but not able to close it out. It actually takes just about as much damage as he dealt. He's just going to find Alloy now, pushing out. They have the bomb this time, so they don't have to run back for it, and Rob is able to support his teammate. That's a nice shot onto Adolfo. This is an eco. So they're just trying to deal damage here. Nice there from Pure Penguins. He's like, you know what? I have time to reload. There's only one guy left. I'm just going to reload with my gun, and actually Deathhood comes out on top.
Rob probably wished he reloaded too.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking, but able to support now is Devil. He's 8 and 6. He's going to keep the M4 in his hands, and we actually see Mild grab an 8K for himself. That wasn't from this round, was it? There was no way. They all had. He's had that, I suppose.
Yeah, he's had it.
4-5, trying to even up this score line is Kansas State. They're looking pretty solid in UTD. We saw a nice fast hit from them onto that B bomb site 2 rounds ago, and as you mentioned, just trying to think about it, how did we let them back in? Why did we let them back in? Let's try that again. We're feeling confident. YKZ's just going to run straight into the grasp. Pure Penguin. We saw this barrel's position was not comfortable for them, and Pure Penguin's just able to go to work by the support of Rob. It's down to one player in Deathhood. Doesn't have the bomb. And now he's found his way off the site. And Corey, if I remember correctly, UTD, were they the team that when they ran out, they did not check barrels every single time, and they got picked off every single time at barrels?
I think that was Hunter that was playing the barrels against MTU.
So that was UTD then.
I believe that was the case.
Yeah, that exactly was, because I remember Hunter finding 4K multiple times and just 3Ks and then able to get the utility down, even getting some opportunities to reload.
Yep.
So we know that barrel's position can be absolutely lethal against UTD as Kansas State ties up the scoreline 5-5.
Yeah, one of the things you should be seeing coming in from UTD is more and more mollies coming over the top, or possibly a boost over the top. To be able to check out that position, and just didn't see it, so I'm trying to look through a couple of my notes here too to see what we've seen, because I know there's a couple positions where we've seen multiple teams that have been playing here on Overpass That's some really good shots coming out there here in this eco. They will get the bomb planted. So that's a good takeaway. But they've also taken away 2 weapons at this point. And Alloy, he's got himself an AWP. He's got himself a bomb site right now, too. 100 HP. Flashbangs coming over the top. They might isolate. Oh, no, they do a really good job of going together. Oh, and through the smoke. And now he'll go ahead and hop up onto the defuse here. But a lot of damage was done. They got the bomb planted, and they had taken multiple weapons away from Kansas State.
That is a good point, Corey. And if you look on the side of Kansas State, if they were to keep any more weapons, that means multiple gun rounds. Multiple of those players, way over 5,000. Now you see they've humbled themselves out just a little bit. So if they lose one round, they might be on the backs of an eco if they're not able to do enough damage or save enough weapons for themselves. Oh, well, if they lose a round, they're going to lose everything. 6-5 now. Kansas State finding their first lead of this half. Knack just missing by a hair on that flick, and he's made his way down to connector. We've seen this many times from Knack. He loves playing fast towards that fountain position. He loves trying to find that early pick.
Yeah, he relies heavily on Mild to be able to give him that coverage. And oh no, that's not a good sign. YKZ knows that he's here now.
Well, they got Death Hood on the other side. Oh, YKZ, yeah, you're right. Oh, wow, he actually found...
He turned on Sir Trix.
YKZ was able to get the trade. That must have been a nice shot because he was getting... We just heard the shots coming in, and now Alloy.
Rob, we got to start paying attention to Rob because he just keeps finding these crazy positions.
Now look how awkward is this. Miles going to be poking out. Odafo's not looking at the right spot. We even see him shoot out of desperation. I mean, that's going to be one person left with YKZ. So let's jump on board with him, see how he's taking out Mild. He's pushing towards restrooms now. Now he's going to where he started this round, in connector, where he found his first kill. Rob's going to be right oh, just barely looking away at the last second. He's going to try and make no sound. Oh, and well, all that trying for nothing, but no one was there to hear it. So if a tree falls in a forest and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound?
Absolutely does.
And we sure did. We heard it. There it is, and there's the round. Rob with these ridiculous flanks pushing out, and just once again, UTD giving up so much of that map. They actually had, it's the same situation. They found Death Hood towards sandbags, and then gave up the position. So there's Rob. He's able to find Death Hood. And just like that, once again, they gave up that position, allowing him to get so far forward. He finds Alloy, and then look, he just stays in that position. YKZ is like, why would he stay there?
Yeah, I know from a kind of a gunfight, ridiculous highlight reel. Oh, he legs him. And there's another angle there as they're going to continue to be able to challenge. They want that AWP, but Mild needs to be here to be able to support him.
Did that grenade hit Oldafo, or was that someone else shooting him? Because he got hit, and he's down to 43.
I don't have that intel.
Okay, so Knack's been doing a lot of good damage this round. He's been holding it down. UTD tried to invest into this round as much as they could. We see the AKs in hand, and we see the money not in pockets. So now he's going to challenge Knack, and we knew he was there, and Alloy wishing he had that one back, because this is looking to unfold poorly for the favor of UTD. They're going to run back and get the bomb. That's YKZ. Once again, being the bomb carriers. Eldafo's pushing far forward into restrooms. Not together they are as Death Hood. That's the position we'd see ASOS. We would see ASOS towards that sandbags, and we actually saw this before. The first time we saw Death Hood was on this map, and he essentially changed his place with ASOS as he's trying to get aggressive on this sandbags position. He's going to come out.
He just has not been successful.
And yeah, he's making noise, but that's not going to be enough. Oh, it might be enough. One player falling off to that A-bomb site is Pure Penguins.
Yeah, but again, having to go back, pick up the bomb, then get back into the action, that just gives Pure Penguins enough time to say, wait a minute, nope, nothing's happening. Let me come back and join you guys.
And now there's even a second player coming in. That's Devil. As Nax once again shut him down. Oh, it looks like he had the cursor and just clicked the mouse a little bit too late. As Pure Penguins finds a nice shot to Adolfo. All down to Death Hood now, and he's got a mighty task ahead of him.
Yep. This is where, I mean, if you want to set up a fake or try to draw in some, try to make a player rotate, you need to have the bomb ready here. And yeah. Now Knack is starting to warm up here. Some good little pops coming in for Knack.
All right, here it is, 8-5 in favor of Kansas State. This started out, I believe, a 5-0. It's either a 5-0 or it was a 4-0 in favor of UTD.
I wrote down 4. Yeah.
So then it was 4-0, 4-1, and then 5-1, and now all Kansas State. This is UTD's map pick. we've said time and time over, and something we need to always point out. Oh, Death Hood, he pokes out just the right time, but something we always call it's a CT-sided map. We say that, but at this point in the game, we're in the second round of losers. These teams can absolutely start turning the tides.
But he also had a molly that was laid out there. And he has a teammate that's going to support him, and that is Devil. As Pure Penguins is, he's got his home here on the pillar. Checks the corners, and there's going to be the last one. Good control from Pure Penguins. Yep. Valid.
Easy picking. Look at that. We were talking about the team play on UTD, but let's look on the board on Kansas State. 11, 10, 10, 11, 14. Everyone, absolutely everyone performing. I mean, on the side of UTD, they're also equally stepping up. 8, 9, 10, 8, 8. So, I will say it's a pretty good performance overall. Death Hood has just consistently lost towards sandbags is the unfortunate part. And that's where they're needing him to step up the most. Is Pure Penguin's actually in a super aggressive position here. He's going to say, hey, I'm here to join the party, and I'm going to take both of you down with me. As he's able to get 2 quick picks, and they completely are blindsided by that. That play alone might just spell the half at a 10-5. Pure Penguin just finding the first opening, and it was just that simple. It was just that easy. He just pushed through the smoke. He sees one, instantly turns around, expects him. Death Hood again losing that fight at sandbags. He's 8 and 15.
Yeah, at some point you have to make a decision.
Well, this is the last round of the half. Well, they don't have to anymore, but
right. Just the fact that what I'm getting back to is Death Hood. Trying to challenge sandbags, and how many fights did he actually win there?
I don't know if he won any. He might have at best got a trade, but it seems like every time UTD went to the B bomb site, I'm not sure if they ever even held it. I can't remember at this point. They won against Ecos. They won the pistol and just got the momentum from those 4 rounds. Lost one, got the immediate after, and then from then it's just been completely lights out as they stack up for Eldafo, but he's not able to find anything as Alloy's the last man alive to try to close out this half for his team, and he's already getting flanked. Miles not able to find the shot, so it's a little bit uncomfortable for Alloy. Still alive, and he's got 23 seconds to make it work. He's got to commit to this B site. They all know he's here. It's just a matter of time before they take him out, and who else but Pure Penguins just running and gets the headshots. He is doing well for himself after that round. He's 17 on the board. He was the catalyst that round, getting the 2 picks into connector. Nice and easy picking. So as we see the scoreboard, says 10-5 in favor of Kansas State. Once again, the map pick of UTD, and the next map we're going to is Nuke, which Kansas State proved to be absolutely lights out against UTD. I've said that many times over today, but just to reiterate my point that UTD really needs to take this map home.
Yep, all of the lights are out. All of them. Alexa, turn my lights off.
Oh, man, so many people at home just had their lights turned off because of you, Corey.
Yep. All right, so now they're going to start to push here towards the connector, and what a quick bout between the two. But they're still, oh my goodness, Death Hood, you had a chance to at least get one, and now it's left up to Alloy.
Well, that was a nice shot at least. A nice little turnover to Pure Penguin, and Devil said, all right, well, I'm going to follow up that performance and get a nice shot at my own. So that's the pistol round UTD very much needed. They're going to find themselves on a second pistol round now, as we see AKs in the hands of Rob and Pure Penguins. 3 MAC-10s. I have a feeling we're going very quickly to somewhere. Pure Penguins is going his way towards connector, and that's a B stack.
Oh, this is going to be good.
This is going to be good. We've seen this work out. We actually haven't seen this work out as well as going to say ever for UTD. They 5-man stacked. It hasn't worked. So here we go. Nak's going to see 1. He's going to see 2. And now he's going to find them all. Wait for it. Hey! Surprise! We're here.
Well, wait a minute. This is not an invite that I accepted. They're going to go ahead and head back towards the A-bomb site. As Pure Penguins is trying to get the be able to close off that choke point so that way they can't rotate fast enough.
Yeah, they're still so far behind, aren't they? I mean, they're booking it. Whereas UTD, they're holding shift. They're trying to be quiet about this push. Devil's actually watching the flank. The bomb carrier still making his way in as Rob has arrived. The bomb's going down. That's going towards restrooms. 2 of these players going towards bank. Sir Trix has MAC-10 in hand. Pure Penguins is the only one still watching the site. He's going to find one coming off of it. That is Alloy. So they have 2 weapons in their hands. They don't have any utility to work with and not a kit. So this is planted extremely against them. As they're going to hear Rob, he's going to check for the plane. He's going to take out one in the meantime. And that might be the damage that he needed to do.
It is.
Devil's pushing forward, and this round should be all but over. He tried to get the AK for himself and get out of there. It wasn't enough, and now Devil's going to see if he can get that AK just in the nick of time. And that's a small victory, despite even getting the victory on top of that round. Getting that AK at the end also feels pretty nice. So this is a gun round coming out for the side of UTD. If they want to have any chance in this round, in this map, they need to win this gun round convincingly to try to stop the bleeding that is Kansas State. It was 4-1. It was 5-1 in favor of UTE at a point. And now they are going quick to this B-bomb site. Miles the first one to lead in with that MAC-10, and maybe not the gun you'd expect it to. And they've got 3 people on this B-bomb site.
Yeah, he also got information from that too, though. He now knows that one plays over there towards the barrels, and so, I mean, if anything, they can go ahead and fireball that off. Throw some mollies over the top. But right now, as they're heading back here towards the A-bomb site, Mild is the one with the bomb now. So you should expect him to be trailing the pack. So now, oh my goodness, the timing of this. Right around the corner, and the flashbang is actually too deep. They don't know that, but here comes Knack to trade both of them. And the bomb is dropped. They don't know that right now. They'll come back to it in a second. As Devil's going to go ahead and backpedal. He's going to go pick up the bomb. But while they're doing that, Pure Penguins and Knack have found their way in Sir Tricks. Your shoes are untied. Yep. As Pure Penguin is going to lace them up for him, 13-5 for Kansas State.
Was a must-win round there for UTD. And let's see how Knack was able to just trade his teammate off there and just said, hey, you guys go in first. Let me get these next 2. So that 2-for-2 trade absolutely going in favor of Kansas State. As we saw, it's 13-5 now on UTD's map pick. They are not looking great. They're having a rough half for themselves, as now we once again see a 5-player stack on this B-bomb site. And they're actually just going to go running on through.
This might not be good if they decide to push all the way towards T-spawn. But they're going to, of course, they find themselves some weapons. Good shots there coming in from Sir Tricks.
Hey, you say it might not be good, but it's a 2v3 now, and they found all the weapons, and they didn't even get the A-bomb site. They didn't have the bomb. Devil's got to go all the way back forward. Rob's just going to come sprinting onto the site. He's going to try to cut off anyone who was there, but he's got to go against weaponry. It's not like they're rocking with pistols now. His teammate can't even get there. We see the rotation coming there. I believe that is Sir Tricks who just cut him off, and now they're going to have to play isolated one-on-ones, and Rob's going to get taken down now. He took down El Delfo, so it's 1v2. And Devil might just feel lucky enough to run into this B-bomb site, and he's going to do exactly that.
That's right call. He's got himself a smoke and a flash. He didn't know that he did not need to throw this smoke. Oh, but okay. I'm backing this. I can get behind this. So he's throwing a smoke to allow him to have a different type of position here, and oh no. All right, let's see if he can transfer. Oh, just the team shooting aspect there. Devil, again, I'm a fan of how he wanted to be able to play that one. It'd have been tough, but there you have it. UTD finding their first round here in the second half.
The 5-man connector through B. Push works out in their favor, and that was an eco, Corey, so look at that money. They're going to have everything they want in this round. That's going to be the first time they can even say that for themselves. AWP instantly into the hands of Alloy. We'll have to see what he can do with it. They still got to go through another round of weaponry to get through the side of Kansas State. Mighty task in front of them. But this has been their first round win since the 6th round is what it was, because it was 4-1 and then it turned to 5-1. So it was round number 6 was their last one, and now we're in round number 20. So it was a long, dry streak for them. As Kansas State's already found 3 players towards A long. Seems like they're a little bit confused on how they want to take this. They dropped the bomb and connector, as Pure Penguins playing that position. They split up their focus a little bit here, but just trying to find information. They heard one jumping. He heard it was Adolfo. He tried to open the door, see if he could catch him. Does not. I think Adolfo might have just barely spotted him there. Pure Penguin smartly, like, I don't want to get shot through that wall. I'm just going to get the bomb, regroup with my team, which is in restrooms. Mild being the player we saw trying to take something towards A long on CT side, and Nax able to find the first pick on YKZ. That's going to cause a rotation to come over, and that's a nice shot there from Alloy onto Rob. Not the player we thought he'd get. Doesn't find the second shot, and he's going to miss the third as well, as that's going to mean the bomb is going to make it to the site now. And there's 3 players already there for the side of UTD as Devils picked himself up that AWP. Bomb's being planted now. It's a 4v3. As all the players are trying to make this retake. On side of UTD, they have joined forces, and they have 2 kits in hand. And they cannot afford to give another round to Kansas State. They're able to find Pure Penguins, and they're able to find Nax, so it seems like they've evened up the odds. It's down to a 2v2. Miles trying to run his way in. They're defusing it, and they're not calling it out yet. They're not quite calling it out yet. He's got the time, but that's a nice shot there from Devil. Sir Tricks got so close. You can see it there, and that is 4 for the round for Devil.
Nice play coming in there at the very end. You can see Kansas State just picking up these rounds. But it almost looked like UTD was going to be able to take back over the round as Death Hood picking up those, but then trying to play the angles. And good overall. And so we'll see how this one plays out. You can see Deagles that are coming out here for UTD. And Knack with the opening to be able to kick things off here.
And yeah, they've got the free B bomb site. They're going to recognize that. All the players coming out from Connector. Rob's found himself a shooting range. Well, actually not quite. He found himself only 1 target to shoot at, and the other one was just absorbing those bullets. As Alloy finds himself the pick, and they're just going to try and save this AK if they can. And they're not able to. Okay. Well, okay. Devils just decided he wants to take advantage of how well he's playing right now and close out this first map. It's 15-6. Not what we expected. But we did mention how would we see this UTD team play without ASOS, and well, Corey, even though their team play is not exactly the most stellar right now, they might seem a little disjointed. I will say ASOS being in this server and dropping upward to 20 could definitely be the difference for them right now. Yep. As we're seeing Death Hood, the man to come in his place is, I think, sub 10 kills.
He is. He's at 9. All right. Let's see if Kansas State will try to close this one out now. Alloy's done pretty well. Nice little shot there from the AWP. Alloy's been playing pretty well in this game.
It's 19-19. And like you said, his op's been looking good.
Yeah, that one shot that he had through the wall for bathrooms, when we both expected him to hit the one that was outside of bathrooms.
He got the hard shot.
He took
but
the hard
then he
one.
missed the 2 easy shots, and
we don't talk about those.
Sometimes you just need the hard shots. That's what some players are so good at. It's like the easy shots. Who was it? Who was that one player?
I don't know.
Okay, Corey. I could have explained it to you a little bit better. It was that guy who always hit the crazy hard. Oh, Draken. Draken.
Yeah. Draken.
He used. I remember. I watched some of his play. He would hit the most ridiculous shots, but then he'd miss all the easy ones. Not to say Alloy is quite to that level, but you see, he's capable of hitting those hard shots for sure. As now we shifted our focus over to sandbags. As now we're just going to run right through it as Miles completely blind, but Death Hood, you cannot allow that to happen. He had 2 people in front of him. They were dead to rights. And he misses absolutely everything as the bomb goes down, and Miles able to pick it up. It's a 1v2 situation for Pure Penguins. They've got it in the hands of YKZ, and they're just going to bum rush him. He's going to have to play ring around the Rosie, and they're already behind him. What on earth? They didn't see him. Okay, that got dicey there, but that's going to be round number 7 on the board for UTD, behind the 4 kills of Alloy.
Man, Alloy is playing really, really well, and you would want to see the rest of his team kind of pick up with him there too. Oh man, that entry was ugly, but the retake the defense was ugly for that against Kansas State, and then all of a sudden you saw a really, really nice retake, which we've seen a lot of really nice retakes. So now you've got 3 players covering over inside of the B bomb site again. And you'll notice, I think please correct me if I'm wrong, but if I remember correctly, we actually saw a few rounds where ASOS, was so comfortable at some points. We may have even seen him there by himself. For some reason, I'm remembering there was like 1 or 2 rounds that ASOS would actually play that in the B bomb side by himself. But of course, I think we'll basically tie this up in a bow for this round. We'll stop talking about that. But I really do feel like that's the difference maker in this game right now. As sometimes schedules just don't align sometimes.
It is the unfortunate reality. We've been as flexible as we can be. We always keep competitive integrity in mind as Alloy finds another one. We always want to make sure we're as accommodating as possible for these players. And this could be the last round here for UTD if they're not able to hold on to this site. Dolphin finds a nice pick onto Devil, quickly removes him out of the round, and there we go. Deathhood is able to get himself one. The bomb is not going to be taken down, and Knack still in the round. Ooh, he actually had the crosshair placement. He's getting a little bit too ahead of himself, but the Glock's going to close it out. It's a 1v1. He knows where Alloy's at. Oh my goodness. His crosshair placement is always in the right spot. If he's connected some of those shots, those would have been some insane shots. As now the bomb's going down, and it's the battle of the ops. We've seen how strong Alloy can be, and he's got the placement. Oh, just off by a hair. Oh. And now it's a sniper duel, and Alloy comes out on top. Of course he does. He's heating up, and he's feeling it. You saw him spinning around celebrating that win, as that's 8 on the board here for UTD. They finally got through the money of Kansas State. I wouldn't be surprised to see an eco coming around for them. UTD can take a sigh and a deep breath and say, guys, calm down. Calm down. He's like, okay, Pure Penguin's already fully into this round. He's got himself the head armor. He's got the AK. His whole team is like, well, sure, man. You've been killing. You can do your thing. We've seen this before, actually. We've actually seen this be successful for them. I'm not sure if it'll be this time. Oh, no! There goes the AK, and there goes Knack. A collateral on Alloy. He was 19-19 not that long ago. He is now 26-19. He's coming alive. And if you are Kansas State, you need to close this out quickly because he's catching his stride. That AWP is coming online, and that's not a weapon that you want to see coming alive as you are on map point.
Oh,
this isn't eco, so we shouldn't get too far ahead of ourselves. But that was still a great shot. As now they're pushing through the smoke. YKZ is going to be there to meet him. He's going to find one. Is quickly taken down. Alloy's going to be the lone representative. Of course he hits the shot, because why not? He's going to spot the other. He wants this 4K, and why not? He gets it with the USP. He is absolutely tearing through Kansas State right now behind another 4K for his team. 15-9.
Oh, man. Alloy, again, kicking this round off with a collat. Picking up a double kill with a single shot from the AWP. That is just so nice to see. All right, so now you got the firebombs kicking this round off. Pure Penguin's going to be pushing directly through. He wants to be the aggressor. He wants to change the tempo of this game, but Sir Trick's right there inside of barrels. And Miles going to trade there. Oh, but this round is basically over now as Devil is on a 1-on-4, 1-on-3 now. And he goes ahead and tries to be able to get this bomb planted. Dolphin going to get himself into a better position and will be able to shoot right through. But that was actually YKZ who picks it up. And there you have it, 15-10 now.
We're starting to come back, Corey. I could feel my energy levels. They were getting kind of low because this looks like a swamp of a map. And there's that collateral again. Just catching it towards the talon, and there's that nice flick, boom, and then here comes that USP shot, ever so clean, just one shot here, oh, it's so satisfying. You see the one shot and the goosh as a UTD timeout.
That's
now been called.
Kansas State.
Oh,
timeout.
Excuse me, yeah, Kansas State. You are correct. As you can see at the very top, I should have perhaps read the graphics we have for us. Thank you, Corey, for providing these great graphics. You actually built all of these with the assist of your team, of course. So
I manipulated graphics.
Yes.
And change code.
That is entirely correct. As we see now, an eco round coming out for the side of Kansas State. Nothing great to show for themselves, but let's not count out the pistols just yet. 15-10 in favor of them. And all they have to do is close out one before they are able to head to their map pick of Nuke. Alloy says, not today. You're not running at me today as he finds another one. Of course he does. He's hot. He's found 30. He's going to see Knack, and why wouldn't he find that shot? He is absolutely alive in this match now. He has brought his team to life with this AWP. It's down to Devil. They've done no damage at all. And okay, well, that's a great shot onto Yakuza, and I bet you anything, Alloy, he wants this shot. He wants another 4K, as he's not going to let him have it just yet, as Devil. He doesn't want to fall into the clutches. Eldafo's looking at the wrong angle, but he's still able to take it out. What impressive shots we are seeing. Oh, that is one, and then just sweeping over in two. I want to see this third shot even. Coming out in just a few moments. Boom, of course, right through the face of Knack.
Yeah, one of the things I talk about a lot, and whether there's criticism for it or not, I truly believe, from all the opping and things that I've seen over the decades, is it's about a tempo, and you can just feel the tempo that Alloy has. You could see, and that's why he had such a successful point. I mean, the pops, one Mississippi, boom, one Mississippi, boom. And that's where he adjusted for both of those shots. He got himself in position, and you saw him slow down right before he was able to shoot his next shot. Alloy's just, he's got really good insight of what's happening. He's making good shots. He's getting himself into really good positions. And so what was a scoreline that looked like Kansas State was basically done with this, UTD is, more importantly, Alloy has just played really, really well, extending this. And what you don't want as Kansas State is you don't want these players to start getting hot and start feeling good. And you say, hey, second map, hey, let's change it up. We may have lost map 1, but, I feel like we could take map 2, even though it's their map pick. It's going to be a tough one, though. It's going to be on Nuke. We'll see that one, too.
Here we go. The X2 coming through. It's Death Hood and the Dafo to try to hold it down as the team's rotating in. We know Alloy's able to do damage, and oh my goodness, I can't even stop talking about him. He finds one pick onto Rob. He's taken out now. Devil's able to pick him up, and now it's left to Sir Tricks. Just as soon as we got excited, he found one. It's a 2v1. The bomb hasn't gone down just yet. There's 20 seconds. They know exactly where he's at. He's trying to bait this AWP shot out. He's got the flashbang in hand. He's going to run behind that. Not quite. And there it is. Knack holding down the angle. And what other gun to close it out than that sniper? 16-11. Kansas State able to close it down. But, man, Alloy came alive.
Yeah, no, that game was a lot of fun. I mean, you can see the op that's right here. I mean, that's what he used over and over and over again.
Oh, I don't like that it's pointed at me. It's like, if you see the trajectory of it, right here, it's just pointed perfectly at my forehead.
He finally figured it out. It's been there for 3 days. All right, so there you have it, man. The 16-11, that game changed pretty quickly, where you saw Kansas State, they should have closed it out a lot sooner, but Alloy, who wanted to go ahead and show off for a little bit, and getting all those op shots there, John.
Yep.
That's fine if you want to. All right, so there you have it. Map 1's going to go to Kansas State. They're on Overpass. That's going to bring us to Nuke. So we'll go ahead and take a quick break, but we've got Nuke coming up next. This is Kansas State's pick. And so we'll see, will UTD hang on for a little bit longer, or will they be sent home in map number 2? Sadly, we will find out after the break.
push it like a wrecking ball. On fire, so high, to the top is where I'm heading. Gonna be a legend. Gonna be a legend.
Visit GoArmy.com and learn about 150 different career opportunities available now. Esports and the U.S. Army working together to make things better. We're here at the Esports Stadium, Arlington. We are currently in lower bracket round 2 between Kansas State versus University of Texas at Dallas. We are in map number 2. As you can see, the very first map pick was actually picked by UTD there on Overpass, but Kansas State, the scoreline says 16-11. But the only reason why we got there was because of how Alloy was just shutting it down over and over again and making some really good retakes and having a lot of fun. But that takes us into Kansas State's pick, which is on Nuke. John, how do you see this one playing out?
Well, if history repeats itself, which we know it does, history has told us that Kansas State has won this one 16-7. I don't remember if they started CT side, if it was their T side. I don't have that information top of mind. But if it's the same results, then we'll see a UTD eliminated from this tournament, which that one holds me upset because I'm a UTD alumni, and I'll be joining your team, the Mean Green Talons, UNT. They were eliminated earlier in this tournament as well. So if Alloy's able to keep up that tempo and he's able to keep up, we were talking about this during the break, the flow state of a player, and just an AWP is exactly that weapon. When you're feeling it, you are absolutely feeling it. You're just hitting your shots. You have the flow of everything going for you. And Nuke's one of those maps where if that weapon comes alive, that can be just the outside's just gone. You can't go through outside. You have to then start investing smokes at the beginning of the round, and then you can put a player in secret. But that's the point I wanted to make is if they try going secret, we saw ASOS was that guy trying to go secret. Pure Penguins would be the guy who would go there, and then all of a sudden completely shut down. So we know that Kansas State can be incredibly impressive on this map. We know Alloy can be incredibly impressive on this AWP. And it all comes down to if UTD can get their team played together.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're heading into Nuke. This is what Nuke looks like. This is what it's all about. I mean, we've seen some great gameplay that's come across the board. We've seen some really awesome shots. We've seen them hold it down as we take a look as we kind of fly around. We're just moments away from starting here in the second map. Man, if Alloy can continue doing what he's doing and then have his teammates also just continue to rise with him, then we're going to see some really, really good rounds. I mean, they had good retakes. They played the CT side better. I think they just didn't allot themselves enough rounds and whenever they were on the terrorist side to really be able to make a difference. But that brings us into the pistol round. John, take it away.
You know, Corey, our energy was a little bit lower in that first series. We felt ourselves dipping a little bit lower than we have normally been, but behind the AWP play of Alloy, he's brought us alive, and maybe he's brought his team alive, as now they are making their way on through to that B ramp, and holy cow, it is just down to Knack. They have absolutely stopped that push from Kansas State, and as we talked about it, they need to come alive in this map, and that's exactly what they did on that hold. They only lose one player, and that's the pistol round. I couldn't even finish my point before that round has concluded. And that is the start that you need from UTD.
Absolutely. Being able to pick up the pistol round, but being able to pick up a pistol round that decisively will absolutely make an impact here as we can see them going to spread out and delay a little bit. But now you got Rob. Rob just flying on the outside, trying to get as much ground as possible. And already YKZ's got himself a scout watching this outside.
He's going to see him on top there as well. He was blinded, so Rob doesn't quite know he's there. Just trying to find any peaks where they can. UTD, I'm sure they're wanting to play this one a little bit safer. And Rob getting taken down. That must have been a nice shot there from Yakuza or YKZ with that scout. He's going to find another player. Just barely misses there. Bullet flies past the ear whizzingly. And Death Hood, a player that was pretty slow last game. We want to see him pick up because we know he can be an impact player. And oh my goodness, speaking of impact players, Pure Penguins. Making that P250 look stellar. As he's got the bomb, he's on site. He even found himself a FAMAS, but now he's going lower bomb site. He wants to go to the B bomb site. He's found that one widely available again, or for himself as well.
Man.
Oh, they think it's, oh no, they think it's at A. They even invested utility. They still think it's at A. Someone just needs to look. Just look. Eldafo looks. He doesn't see anything. They still think it's A. Someone look and oh no. I can guarantee one of these players' hand is immediately into the dead center of their forehead, as that is a facepalm moment as Nax not going to be able to find one. They still have some time to work with. They've got a kit in the hands of Sir Trix. The Molotov's going to go down. I don't think that's actually enough to stretch. He's got to peek. He's got to find one, and he doesn't. So despite blowing all of that utility on an empty bomb site, UTE is able to walk away with that one. 2-0. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they had. They had a 3-player advantage. They had a kit that was on their team, so there's definitely a way for them to be able to hit back down there. Of course, you also have Nuke. You can rotate quickly from site to site, so it's and more so you can rotate down to the lower bomb site faster. And so they had time to work with. Yes, they probably could have gotten better intel, but here comes the plan of attack towards the outside. Rob is close. This is going to be the very first gun round we're going to see as well. And YKZ, he's chasing after them. But look out, Mild turns around with a quick AK headshot. And now they're going to continue to push through. They've got every angle. Mild's not slowing down. As you can see, a trade happening there. And finally, Sir Trix has had enough, as he rushed down towards the lower bomb site quickly, and now they're coming up, but here's a game. Oh my goodness. Alloy says, thank you. I will take all 3 of them. Hat trick coming in. There is now the score is going to be 3-0. And goodness, they just kind of filter in one by one, going into the exact same position, and Kansas State thought they were going to be cheeky about it, and Alloy said no.
What great control. So Alloy showing he could do it with the up, he can do it with the M4, he can do it with anything, as that's the 3rd round for them. And whoa, Rob finding a nice pick there. Alloy, of course, from heaven with this M4 is going to slow that down. It's now down to Knack and to Devil. They didn't expose the bomb. Maybe they just absolutely slowed their roll here. Sir Trix, oh my goodness, Knack. By no means should he be winning that one. Just finds a ridiculous headshot there. Evening up the odds as Devil's trying to show off his movement here. Wiggling back and forth. Snack's going to poke forward, and if he finds this shot into Alloy, then I'm going to lose my mind, because Alloy has no business losing this gunfight. Knack's got head armor, so if he's going to find instant headshot. Oh my goodness, okay, not quite the way I thought that would happen. Thought it'd be a little bit more ridiculous than that, so I'm not going to lose my mind over his foot getting shot to death, but that's going to give them the B bomb site as Alloy pushed a little bit too far forward there. Now Knack didn't think YKZ would be there, and Death was able to find the spray down. That's going to be round number 4 on the board here for UTD. And Corey, something I want to note here. We talked about this a little bit. When we interviewed Eldafo from when they made it out of their group play, they played against Kansas State on this map. Eldafo said, we've beaten Kansas State on this map before. We got the better of them last time, but just the map that you saw today, which was the map they lost against Kansas State on Nuke, they said they got the better of us today. So we think that we are the better team. They just got the better of us. UTD, we know this is a CT-sided map, so starting off with 4 on the board is not terribly surprising. But they're looking sharp. They're looking like they want to bounce back after that last game. I think Alloy's absolutely ignited them.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well as we watch this round kind of get started here. Kansas State last time here on Nuke, it was 16-7, but more importantly, it was 12-3 was the very first half score in favor of Kansas State, who started off on the CT side. Now we're going to see some executes that are happening here towards the outer side. YKZ is on lockdown. He can't necessarily get out of the big garage, and he'll be waiting here. You can see them starting to work by. They're actually going to walk into the hands of YKZ, who was over there towards the garage, and they're wrapping now. He's got a scout in hand, and Alloy is going to give some cover there. He almost gets the shot there.
That bullet went through one ear hole and out the other one, just completely passing through every canal. I'm surprised that one didn't connect. So Dafo's going to quickly get his way out of there elusively. He's going to find himself a new position, but Devils found himself in a new rotation even sooner as Deathhood's the last one on the site. He's not able to hold it down And this one should be on the first one on the board as Sir Trix has a mighty task for himself in a 3v1 situation. He's even mollied off, but he's going to find Mild. The bomb's going down. He might get the bomb carrier, but he doesn't. The bomb just barely going down in time, and that's great team play. That is great team play from Kansas State. Both of them making it awkward, peeking out, shoulder peeking back and forth, trying to move the crosshairs up and forward as they did with Sir Trix. Nat closing out the round and getting the first on the board here for Kansas State.
So one of the other things that I'm going to mention for here going into this game is the last time Alloy was 9-21. That is in the entire map. He was 9-21. So that's another X factor that we'll be looking at here for this game and seeing who can be able to take out on top. So those are the facts of where we were at last time. I think this one may be a little bit differently, but Pure Penguins having an opening as he's heading here towards the ramp. This is an eco coming out here for UTD. We'll see if they can be able to work their way up here. Now there's going to be one player, Mild. He does not want to lose this AK, but the crackling of the fire may have suppressed his footsteps just a little bit, as we do not see see if they're able to make something happen here. They're starting to be able to run away, and Knack is going to go ahead and throw a fadeaway, but there he has his teammates to be able to support him as well. But there you have it, 4-2 now. Kansas State able to put 2 rounds on the board. It's going to be little by little. You know, we talk about maps like Train and maps like Nuke being very CT-sided, but all it takes is just a good break in the economy to really change the flow of how the game is playing out. We'll take a look and see how they start this one out. And now, oh, what a great quick pick coming out onto Deathwood, and Mild is going to do that as well. They're going to go ahead and spam him down. That is Adolfo down to 2 HP right now. It is a 3-on-4. That Molly's going to go ahead and pass. Sir Trix now he's going to peek out. They almost relied on the utility too much, and Sir Trix has lost 74 hit points from his life. So we'll see how they are able to play this one. Bomb's going to continue to tick away. YKZ is the only one that has a kit here, and he is currently on the outside. He's actually over all the way towards Secret, and he's just watching for exits. He's going to go ahead and bail out of there. So there's going to be another round coming in here for Kansas State, as we got a 4-3 score line, and you can see how fast they want these guns from these players, and I don't know if I want to give up an op out of that to be able to get these kills. But oh no! You also had another player that just had fallen. I believe that was Deathhood, or Sir Trix, and so now the score is 4-3 now in favor of UTD.
Pure Penguins also fell down to the bomb being planted, but I think that was his whole objective. He's playing Ring Around the Rosie with these players, trying to make them confused, trying to get them out of position, and they completely forgot the bomb was going to explode. That it does, and it takes out some of those weapons. So we're finding another eco on the side of UTD. What started off as a 4-0 might be a tied-up scoreline here, Corey, as they quickly make their way to Secret. That wall of smokes is leaving UTD questioning what's going on in this round. Deathhood's going to be like, oh, I found him, guys. But it's not going to be enough. He's not able to find a kill on Sir Trix. He's going to be able to find one, but not able to take him out. Now Rob is being the leading charge onto this side, finding 2 quick picks, getting the bomb planted, and it's a 3v5 retake. They've got nothing to work with. Even YKZ being taken down there, and Adolfo's looking like he wants to save this FAMAS again.
Kansas State, they're finding their way back into this game, and if you're UTD, you just cannot give up any of these rounds. You have to have a very confident and solid CT side. And right now they've lost a few different gunfights, and we'll see how they play this one out. And Pure Penguins is on the hunt. And he has the time. He can be able to make his way all the way here towards the T-spawn area and see if he can be able to see him. And he does. He finishes him off, and Adolfo unable. Oh.
Yeah, that's the exact reaction from Adolfo. So Pure Penguins just always has the right spray for the right time. He's got a full arsenal, I guess, to expect that. I mean, you see his picture. He's probably got he's got his game hat on. He's got his Penguin shirt on. He's got his Penguin pants on. We saw that last time, and now we see a timeout for the side of Kansas State, recognizing, okay, we're going to go against guns. We went against the eco last time. We're going to go against guns now. How do we want to play this round out?
All right.
And to your point, Corey, just to call this out, you said Alloy was 9-21 last time we saw them on Nuke. He's 6-5 now. We're gonna have to see how he holds on here.
Yeah, one of the things I really like from Kansas State is actually seeing them going in and calling the timeout. They just they just tied up the game, and that puts them into a situation where they feel pretty good about it. So here we go. We're back into the rounds. This will be our first gun round in a while. Real solid gun round coming in for both teams. And Knack has got a good spawn here towards ramp, and he gets one. Now he's going to backtrack. He has some support from his teammates, and he's crying. Oh, he just barely misses there on Sir Trix. And there will be a quick action coming in. There was a trade that actually happened inside of the lobby. And now they're going to go ahead and work their way fast. As Pure Penguins is setting him, he was setting up for a smoke. And there it goes, it blooms. And we'll see what happens. It is a 3-on-3. As they're going to creep their way around here. Sir Trix, it's instinctual for him. As they lose any players, he goes ahead and drops down to lower very, very quickly. We are probably about to see a flashbang come through Pure Penguins, and then allows his teammates to actually take over the rafters here. And actually, he's going to be the one that's going to try to. Oh no! He gets himself into a tough position as Adolfo had advanced, and just like that, Adolfo starts to watch over towards the rafters. And 45 seconds here in the round, and Adolfo's just below, and I think he's watching several different angles, and there you go. He's able to get one. There's going to be a quick trade. And Miles go ahead and falls down, goes to get the bomb planted, and Sir Trix is going to take the secret route. And you can see how Mild goes ahead and sets this up. He's going to go ahead and throw this smoke out. He's actually pushing through, and they're going to assume that's a good play, and nice play by Mild, and they pick up the 5th round here. As we're now going to head into round number 10 with Kansas State now has taken the lead.
Just so smartly played there from Mild. Mild was not a player that we saw really come alive in the last map, and so many impressive shots already coming through. So many smart plays behind Mild. So this is just the whole team coming alive for the side of Kansas State, as we have not seen the op in the hands of Alloy, has not been able to make that same impact that we saw last time. And ever since starting hot, I believe is still only on 6 kills. Oh my goodness. As we talk about the AWP, Knack is starting to come alive, and again, you just don't want to see that weapon starting to come alive if you are UTD. That is such a confidence-building weapon. And now we're seeing Rob in an awkward situation. 2 players pushing him, and now he's seeing another even pushing him, and that's Alloy with the AWP that he found, or excuse me, the AK that he found. The bomb hasn't quite made it down yet. That's in the hands of Mild. Mild now planting the bomb. They've got a pretty spread out position here. They've got nice odds, and oh man, Deathhood tries to spray through, and of course Mild takes him out. Man, if you're UTD here, you're wondering how do we get back on the site, and that's not how. Adolfo's going to open the door and close the door for his team on that round, and that is 6-4 in favor of Kansas. And look at their money. Oh my goodness. They can buy themselves a new car with that money.
Yeah, one of them smart cars, yep. So 6-4. Let's see how they continue with this trend, as the loss bonus has been amplified to its fullest for UTD. Making the way inside the site. Knack actually this round actually went with a AK instead.
Oh yeah, Sir Trix is on that AWP, and now they're instantly calling for that save, as that was such a fast hit from Kansas State. And, this is great to watch, Corey. We did not get to see their T side, and this is exactly what you want to see. We saw UConn when they played on Nuke just hitting that A bomb site over and over and over. And look at that. They were able to win every opening duel that they needed to come out on top, get the bomb site for free. The 2 players nowhere in position to try to rotate over, and they have to call for the save even before they have a chance, and even before the bomb goes down.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to probably end up checking towards the T-spawn together, which is pretty standard position to go check to see if they're going to be saving their weapons, but they, in fact, saved their weapons on the opposite side of the map in their own spawn. We'll take a look at how their economy breaks down. You got 3450 for 2 players, and so let's see what they end up doing here. Sir Trix still has the AWP. That's an interesting call out. Now, he may be watching the ramp room with that op, but we'll go ahead and stay on board with him to see where he's at. And it looks like, yes, he is going to be watching the ramp room. This is going to be a challenge. And, as Knack actually had taken damage there, and that nade was just not enough. It didn't make it through the cracks. It could have been all the way down that corridor. May have actually caused even more damage. But now Sir Trix is going to hold a different type of angle here. And we'll see what Kansas State decides to do here. And outside, Pure Bingwall is trying to set up a flash. He's going to get taken out by YKZ. As they're trying to push here through the door, and just like that, they just push on through. As now the bomb will get planted in the upper bomb site inside of A. And Alloy is just keeping his head from getting chopped off up there on rafters while he waits for his teammate, and there he goes. Mild got himself a higher angle and be able to take advantage of it. You can see, look how easy that shot would have been. And right below is going to be YKZ. YKZ also getting taken out. And Sir Trix knew exactly where Mild was at and almost had taken him out. He's down to 7 HP for Mild. And there you go, Knack. Boom. From the AWP. 8-4. And let's go ahead and pull up the scoreboard too. I want to showcase. Look, 4 rounds started this game for UTD, and now you see all 8 coming in here for Kansas State, and they are on the T side of Nuke. Look at that. Mild. Oh my goodness, 141 on the ADR.
I told you there was a slow player coming through in the last map, but absolutely stepping up now, and everyone on the side of. I mean, really, everyone on the side of Kansas State's having a pretty solid game for themselves. Devils a little bit slower in that 4 and 7, but you see 2 players at 13 and 5. It's even then, if you start evening out those odds, the team play is really coming out, and that's the only thing that matters. Every time they're hitting this A bomb site, it's being successful. They're finding the opening picks. Somehow, Eldafo and Death Hood are not able to find the opening picks despite them stacking up together. So you got to start thinking, do they start investing more resources to this A bomb site? Do they start trying to get more utility down? Do they get more players down there? The problem with that is then do they start hitting the B bomb site? And then we're playing this game of back and forth where the T's have taken complete control. And just as I say that, Knack finding Death Hood, not even looking. Seems like UTD has just gotten they're starting to get a little bit scrambled from this match as Kansas State is taking full control. They found that first A pick, and ooh, Knack legs him. He just pulls out the deagle. He knows it, and of course he finds that pick. But Adolfo's going to get up close and personal. Doesn't realize he's had a second player watching him as Sir Trix is going to get taken down now. That's going to mean the B bomb site is theirs. And who else but the takeout but Mild. Now YKZ wants to keep this AWP. We saw it get stripped away last time. And it's going to get stripped away again in the hands of Rob. And they are running away with this half. It is 9-4 on the T side for Kansas State. And look at the money for the side of UTD. They have been on 9 rounds in a row from Kansas State. That loss bonus has just been sitting every single round at max, and they just cannot do anything with it. They decided to invest into this round, see if they can stop the bleeding, try to get more rounds in the half for themselves. And Corey, you mentioned it. Last time we saw these two teams play, it was 12-3 in favor of Kansas State when it was their CT side.
Yep.
Rob has now opened it up on the outside. He wasn't expecting that one, though, and getting quickly traded for Miles. So, hey, it's a 2v3, and Deathhood's able to find that pick. That evens up the odds at 2v2. This could be the round that they needed. As we mentioned, they bought into this round. They wanted this round. They didn't want to say, hey, let's just get a better round 15. They said, we want a better round now. Hands. Devil has the bomb in his hands, and they're heading to this B site, which they're going to find is completely open in just a few moments. There's actually one player, and that's Sir Trix, is way outside going through secret. They're getting the bomb down now. They do not have a kit, so they've got to get to this site soon as Knack has picked up Death Hood. It's all left to Sir Trix, who came from secret. The second he opens this door, they're going to point their eyes towards him.
Yeah, there's so many sound cues on this side of the bomb site.
Have they even broken the glass yet? They have not. Okay, so now they know. And Knack's immediately going to poke out, and of course he would. He finds 2 in the round. He's on 17-6. We were talking about the AWP of Alloy coming alive in last map, and he has returned the favor. He says, anything you can do, I can do better. As it's 10-14 in favor of Kansas State, and we're seeing a desperate buy in the hands of UTD, a deagle in the hands of Eldafo, and a max 7 for Sir Trix.
Yeah, 10-4. As we can see right now, they're going to go ahead and push directly in towards the upper bomb side, a quick attack. And there you have it. They're going on this quick trade as well as Alloy and Adolfo has won 2 gunfights. And there you go. That's the one round as Kansas State said, let's go ahead and try to be able to finish this one. But there you have it, 10 rounds in a row the damage has been done. And so UTD, now they're going to be flopped over to the T side.
This is a scoreline that we would expect, Corey, just the other way around. So UTD, they have got to pull the rabbit out of the hat here if they want to remain in this tournament, because their backs are against the wall. Kansas State winning against UTD on their map pick of overpass. And here they come. They've broken down the door and they're charging in. Pure Penguins has found one, but he's returned. It's a 3v3 on this site, and Knack, he's finding some kills for himself, and Adolfo and Death Hood are wanting to even up the odds. They're both on 15 and 14 HP.
That's a 5-7.
So this 5-7 is going to just chew on through him if he finds the shots. He's able to connect one of the Death Hood, but the bomb, oh no, the bomb hasn't gone down. I thought he was planting it, and he was, but he decides to drop lower, and Mild's going to be chasing him down, but he wants to go through secret.
He got himself a kit out of this. He's picked himself up a flashbang along the way. And so he's fully set up. He's geared up and ready to rock and roll. Now you're going to see him bait away again, going directly up the vent. And so right now Adolfo is just basing everything off of audio cues. Oh no, he went ahead and swapped his weapon there too. You can hear the fact that he picked up the USP. And so there's the challenge that's going to happen here. Flashbang over the top. It does not blind him. And he bait him. Oh! Adolfo with the headshot. You thought that was Mild's game to win. And Adolfo shutting it down, just saying, hey, the USP is still lethal in pistol round.
It absolutely is. And boy, that has to be, I feel like I can hear UTD yelling from here. They absolutely needed that round. They need any bit of momentum we can get. We actually see an HE grenade stack towards the outside. There is no player in that position, so it is all for naught. As now they come running towards. They're trying to find the picks where they can, and Death Hood's able to find, or excuse me, Devil's able to find one, but he's traded off, and this should just be a nice and easy round. Knack's going to see him. So Pure Penguin's in a nice spot to find something, but he doesn't have a nice weapon. As Alloy actually picks up one guy who got a little bit too far behind. It shouldn't matter. He still has only the deagle to himself, and the bomb's going down. So UTD playing this next round perfectly. So they get the bomb down now as Knack wants to push through that smoke. He's now going to have to push through a second smoke. No business trying to take this round. At this point, he might just be looking for exits. I doubt they'll even go towards him. They'll probably just run towards where they see Adolfo is at and work together.
Yeah, I want to say a special thanks to Jordan Nothing, who's been go ahead and shared the stream over. I appreciate you guys. We're here at the Esports Stadium, Arlington. We're in the Reload Collegiate CSGO Invitational, as we're in map number 2 of this best of 3. This has been a 32-team, a 28-team Collegiate CSGO Invitational where we've kicked things off, and now we're down to these teams that are here on your screen, as well as another 11 teams. So our finals, our actual playoff day, actually ends on Sunday this weekend. But we're going to go ahead and take a look. You can see that Kansas State currently is on they decided to go ahead and buy themselves a couple submachine guns and try to go for that full shock and awe inside a lobby, as they've been able to take out 2 players. And Adolfo, who is the one that was able to shut down the pistol round, the one that you thought they were going to lose, ends up being able to start this one. Adolfo still trying to be able to win this round for his teammates. But Kansas State, they come into the very first half 10-5 while they were on the T side. And there goes Pure Penguins. He's going to get taken out there. But 10-8. Again, for those that are just joining us, Kansas State won the first map on Overpass. And that was a 16-11 score line. And now here we are with Kansas State. Now we're going to see their first real bye coming out against UTD.
Alloy leading the front for his team, 15-13. He was the man who started to ignite the fire in UTD, finding those insane AWP shots. Now we're starting to see a better score line for UTD, 8-10. But they're going against guns now. Previously, it was just SMGs, pistols, you name it. Now we see the AWP in Knack's hands, and we know in that first half he was lethal. And as I say that, YKZ is taken down. He's still outside. He's still trying to get damage. He finds himself the 20th kill for himself. He's just trying to get away with his life as Rob's able there to support. Oh, just barely finding that angle. Sir Trix gets tagged, and he says, no, thank you. None of that. I'm getting out of here. And he's joining Death Hood towards Secret. As it's a 3v5 now as UTD. We were just talking about them. They're starting to get amped up. Kansas State's trying to silence them. Pure Penguins is in a great spot to catch him. Death Hood's going to check the angle. Oh, he's not. He's actually has a teammate firing him. That's going to give him the cue, and he's going to try to run across. Pure Penguin wasn't expected to be there. That's going to be the bomb going down, and surely that's going to be the round. It is. That's 11 on the board for Kansas State.
Yeah, the last time these two teams played against each other on Nuke, Kansas State started off on the CT side, and they won this 12-3. That was in group play. That was back in on May 4th, whenever we were in group play. And here we have it, 11-8 right now. Kansas State, as we see the first real gun round come out in this previous one. Let's see what's going to happen here coming in from UTD. They elect to go ahead here towards that ramp room. Mild's had a really good game. There's going to be one. See if he can continue this. He's still got a few more bullets in his clip. He's joined there with Rob. Rob with the AUG in hand. They continue to shut down this ramp room. Even though they say, well, they try to continue to push through the smoke, and it's just not working out for them. And Rob's going to go ahead and drop another smoke to delay this push even further, but the damage has been done. You've got Death Hood and Alloy, the last two alive here. And the UTD's watching their flanks, and of course, you know that Kansas State's going to get overzealous. They want to be able to pick up some kills, and Alloy he had a really good game, number one. He will get quickly traded there. But just like that, which looked like Kansas State had the upper hand, they still do, but it's down to a 2-on-1 with Death Hood, and he'll get taken out. 12-8 now, as Kansas State has been working hard throughout this game. Man.
They sure have. And Rob's been a guy we haven't necessarily talked about too much in this series. He is the IGL for this Kansas State team. Didn't make the most amount of noise in the last game, but got a 4K in that last round to propel them forward for round number 12. And now we see an eco on the likes of UTD, and it seems like they're trying to make their way quickly towards this A-bomb site. They're going to go lower, in fact, and Pure Penguins is just at a shooting range. He's found 3 already. The bomb's gone down. He is just chasing through the smoke. He wants more. He's only got 3 bullets left, and that's going to close it out as Mild went all the way around to find Alloy. And this is starting to see the momentum shift into the favor of the side of the CTs, as we'd expect going into this half, but it's 13-8. So now we're jumping on board to see how he got it. He just spraying on through.
Oh, man.
Nice and easy picking, even through the smoke, through the wall, because why not? It's Pure Penguins, the guy we said we needed to watch, and he's still performing.
Well, here we have it, UTD back into another gun round. Death Hood winning the bout inside of ramp room through the smoke, and see if he can be able to win this one as well. Rob down to 15 HP. We haven't seen a lot of Death Hood getting these entries, and what you would really expect, he's the sub coming in for ASOS, who was usually your top fragger, usually ending around 30 kills. But look out, Pure Penguins got an angle from Secret, as he's being able to pick up another one there. Also not getting down to low HP, down to 22. So Death Hood caused damage to Rob and Knack before he was taken out of this round. But just like that, it's all left up to YKZ, who's stuck inside a lobby with this AK. And he's going to push up. He does pick up one, and Knack's just going to have a field day trying to be able to pop some shots through the hut. And YKZ, he knows where one's at, but Rob is just lurking about up on top of the rafters. They were not anticipating that one. 14-8. Kansas State is just a really, really good team. We saw how they were playing in the upper bracket rounds against the likes of UCF, and this is just seeing the life of what we had seen from them before. So here in the lower bracket rounds, of course, it's win or go home, and UTD, they're right on the edge right now, and Kansas State's looking to push them off.
They very well are, and it's an eco coming out, and Rob's found himself in a very forward position. Oh my lord, look at that grenade damage. So many red life bars as Pure Penguin just pokes out. He's going to have a shooting range. He doesn't have to even hit headshots as he quickly finds 3 behind just a few bullets, and he's going to find a 4th. Actually, Death Hood coming alive towards this end of the game, and unfortunately it might not be enough as it's 15-8 now. UTD, they have got to win 7 straight to try and force overtime, or they will be out of this tournament. Corey, just to remind you what's on the line here. First place getting $3,000, second place getting $1,500, and third place getting $500. So there's absolutely a prize on the line here. If you're UTD, you want to keep yourself alive here. You have got a mighty task ahead of you.
Oh man, it takes one step at a time for UTD, and that's a step backwards. This game has gotten out of hand. In the very beginning of this game, UTD had won 4 rounds in a row. And then immediately after that, we saw Kansas win 10 on the T side on Nuke, and just really reassuring their dominance in this matchup. Both of these teams came from the exact same group. They just so happened to meet in the playoffs. And we're seeing that Kansas State still reigning in as the top team between these two teams. I don't think you can make it any more definitive than that.
Adolfo said they just got the better of him on that day. And it seems like, well, maybe they just get the better of them all the time, as Kansas State has been absolutely stellar in this series, and Mild has been great in this game. He's already found 2. He's going to see 1. He's going to see another one. He's going to quickly take off the head of Adolfo, and they're going to come barging in. They are not putting on the brakes. They are going to continue running in. They are still trying to take the fights against Knack. They know he's there. He's with the AWP. They're going to smoke him off, and they might actually try to take their attention towards Heaven. They don't want to fight Mild. They're going to poke 1, and that's down, as that's Knack. He goes for the no-scope, and now it's left to Alloy, the man who sparked him to try to come alive, and Overpass is not going to do it. And they are going to be eliminated out of this tournament 16-8 in favor of Kansas State.
Oh, that's just really, really tough to see. I mean, UTD, they've fought every single game. We saw them in the lower bracket rounds. I mean, they got sent down to the lower bracket from our number 1 seed in this tournament, being Robert Morris University. They sent them down to the lower bracket, and then they clawed their way against Michigan Tech University. And then, of course, they had another really tough team to face off against, being Kansas State. It's just a really tough path to be able to take in this tournament. But you have to look at it. You have to keep your heads held high on a lot of the different games that you were able to do. But huge shout-out to Kansas State. That team is a dominant force. I think they're basically going to send a lot of people home through this lower bracket.
Yeah, they look stellar. As you mentioned, they had a very tough opponent, Kansas State, yesterday in UCF, the number 2 seed in this tournament, and they went 16-14 on Inferno. Fantastic game for everyone who has not been able to see that match. That was the must-watch match of this tournament so far, I would say, is Kansas State versus UCF. And as we saw, they were so impressive in that match. They lost, but now we see them here against UTD. They were absolutely the better team in this series. They took it to them on UTD's map pick on Overpass. Even though Alloy had some great showings with the AWP, it just wasn't enough. He even had a better game for himself on Nuke this time around. But once again, it just was not enough. Knack, we talked about Pure Penguins that whole series, but Knack in that round and Mild doing great work for their team and able to keep them afloat. And they're overall, all of their team play, even Rob, the IGL, he was fragging too. Everyone on the Kansas State side, they work in cohesion. And at any point, any of them can step up.
Yeah, well, speaking of, there's one player in particular that I wanted to get in this broadcast is actually Mild. Mild, congratulations for continuing to move forward. What a great game that you had there for you. Kind of talk us through a little bit of how it felt and how you guys had to gain that momentum. Because again, you started off on Overpass where you had to say, "Wait a minute, this doesn't feel right." Kind of talk us through the first map first. Also, make sure you have your push to talk on.
I guess that's important, right?
You
So
saw
I guess our big
the
thing today
instant,
was that, we wanted to prove that it wasn't a fluke in that best of 1, and we really wanted to prove that, we still had it in us. We did start off a little slow on Overpass. I think that it always takes us a little bit of time to get going, but I mean, once we're in the zone, we really know what's going on. So we were able to lock it down late game, and I guess both maps. So we were proud of ourselves, and I think everybody played very well.
Yeah, no, that was such a great game to watch. I mean, both of those. I mean, it's you've played against UTD outside of this tournament as well. How's it been? I mean, how do you adjust? Because there's a few teams that we've had in this tournament that have never played against each other ever before. But how do you guys play? What do you kind of take as you went into this matchup? How did you feel confident in this one?
It's funny because the last time that we played UT Dallas, it was in CSL. We played Overpass and then Nuke, and it was a bit of a different atmosphere. I think that we weren't as solid as we are now. It's been a couple months, so we've really been able to lock ourselves in, especially on our T side. Things get kind of shaky. It happened a bit on Overpass where we couldn't close it out near the end, but we've really been able to just take some deep breaths and reset ourselves. So we analyzed, what UT Dallas had done in the Overpass and the Nuke before, both in the best of 1 that we just played and in CSL. So we were more ready for our T sides, and I think we were just came out better today.
Well, Mild, you guys have been playing so well in this tournament. I mean,
Thank you.
I'm going to backtrack for a moment since I've got you. We didn't interview you guys after the UCF game, but kind of talk us through that one for a little bit. What was the comms like during that one? Because that was a really close game as you guys were fighting that one out.
Yeah, we knew that that was going to be a good one. I mean, our only priority was not to just get steamrolled. We had to come in, prove ourselves early, which we did in those first 4 rounds. But then again, our late game kind of we were slacking a little bit, and that kind of was the difference. But I think we proved ourselves in that best of one, and we're not really upset about it. I mean, if we can keep progressing, when we keep progressing through this lower bracket, we're hoping to see them again. So.
Awesome. Mild, any shout-outs or comments before we let you go?
I thank all my friends and family for watching. I mean, it's been a great time. This is unlike anything I've done before, so I'm really enjoying myself, and I'm hoping that everyone is enjoying watching.
Yeah, Mild, we've got a whole new viewer set with us as well, and I'll tell you at the same time, our goal at Esports Stadium Arlington was to make this a LAN event. We were actually supposed to be right here on the stage that behind us. What would it have meant to
nice.
you to actually play on a stage like this?
Oh, I would have been a lot more nervous, that's for sure.
You see his eyes.
I love it, yeah.
I've never been on a stage like that before. Oh my. No, that would have been a whole nother ball field, but maybe next time.
Maybe next time, and we are going to make that happen. Our goal is to have an event like this every fall and every spring for all the collegiate teams that are coming in, because CSGO is very near and dear to my heart, and the collegiate scene is one of our other key focuses as well. We also focus on the K through 12 throughout all of North Texas, but more importantly, as we continue to stretch our arms across the nation to see what we can bring in, seeing brand new talent coming in. So, Mild, congratulations. Tell your team congratulations for moving on in the tournament, and we look forward to seeing a lot of the other matches that we see coming your way in this tournament as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So there you have it. Kansas State taking that matchup over UTD. What a great series of seeing in terms of seeing Kansas State kind of build their momentum. Alloy, I think he redeemed himself from some of the previous matchups. That's a tough team to play against. But again, UTD, you guys have been great watching you guys play. Wish we'd have been able to see if you had the combination of having ASOS in that matchup. That may have been the only altercation that I would have looked to actually see in that game. So, John, what's some of your takeaways from there?
I mean, you nailed it. If we saw ASOS instead of Death Hood, and Death Hood, he had some good games in this tournament, so we can't question that. But in this series, he didn't quite come online. ASOS is that person we know. It drops 30. We expect, there was times where we said that he wasn't at 30, so we thought less of them in that matchup. So that's how good of that player that is. So missing out your top fragger absolutely hurts you a little bit, but we saw Alloy coming online, and he had some pretty poor performances in this tournament. We went into a half once where he was 0-14.
Yep.
So coming online today is absolutely where he needed to do.
We've got highlight clips.
We do. Oh, we've got highlight clips all over the place. And, I mean, from him alone, in that last series on Overpass, we've got a lot of great shots from him there. And so I hope as we roll out the replay for this series, we have some of those sweet shots because that got my energy flowing. Unfortunately, my home team, my alumni, UTD, they're now out of the tournament. Yep. I'll have to see them next time. Hopefully I see them here in the fall. As you mentioned, Corey, that'd be so much fun to be able to cast in front of all of the schools that have been in this tournament, see them on the stage. And as you said, we even talked about what it meant to some of these players to play on these stages. And some of them they feel more comfortable at home. Some of them really thrive off the energy. And I thought it was so funny. The second, he saw the stage, he saw everything, and he went, oh, whoa. And then you asked him the question, and then he went, oh. So it's so much more of a fun dynamic. And as you mentioned, being able to interview, pull someone aside instantly after they have their match, and you can feel the energy just bouncing off of one another.
I still feel like you can, which has been really, really nice having these players being able to hop on. We've had some very genuine players that have talked to us. We've seen a lot of personality. But let's go ahead and take a look at the lower bracket before we wrap up for a moment. So you can see here are some of the teams that will be coming our way. So Kansas State is now going to be in the waiting for Northeastern versus Purdue. My expectation is it probably going to be Northeastern. Purdue's had some good games, but Northeastern is a very, very strong team. As Northeastern had to play against Rochester last night, and last night was really last night. Then on the flip side, we had UAH versus Pittsburgh. That is coming up at 10:30 Central. We are actually going to take a break for a little while and then be able to accommodate for their schedule and play at 10:30 at night. But every single match in this tournament has been broadcasted right here on this Twitch channel. And so we'll be kind of looking at that matchup. But earlier in the day, we saw that Miami University, Ohio versus St. Clair College. That was an interesting game, and we'll see how that one plays out. They have to face off against UConn. But let's go ahead and take a look at the top side of the bracket, or the upper bracket. And we had RMU versus UConn. That was just a crazy game. RMU just stomped on UConn, and I'm a huge UConn fan of their play style. And you can see right there, VCU advances against Kennesaw. That was a nice tight game there later last night. And so you can see RMU versus VCU. That will be on Friday. That will be tomorrow. And then we'll look at the lower part of this upper bracket. Rochester versus Northeastern. You can see Rochester sending Northeastern down to the lower bracket. And then UCF versus Kansas State. That was the game that I asked Mile about. That was a 16-14 game. That game was so good. So now we're going to see the matchup between Rochester and UCF. That's going to be on Saturday. But for everyone that has joined us, thank you. Sadly, we're going to take a break for a little bit, but I highly recommend for sure is to watch on Sunday, no doubt. You're going to see some top-notch quality play. I want you to stay with us. There's no question, but I'm trying to give you some really good content to be on the lookout for. We're going to roll this one out as we head to a break with some of the crazy highlights that we've had in this tournament thus far. We've seen some really good gameplay. So that's basically for now. We're going to go ahead and wrap for a moment. Again, I'm Corey Dunn, joined with John O. here from Esports Stadium. We'll see you at 10:30 Central Time. Back after a little while.